The process of the collapse of the Russian economy has already begun, and in 2023 every Russian feels it. All this is the result of the work of sanctions, which the European Union and the United States introduced against Russia after the full-scale invasion of its troops into the territory of Ukraine in February 2022. According to various versions, Western countries have blocked from $300 to $350 billion of funds from the Central Bank of Russia. According to economists, even the gold and foreign exchange reserves of the Russian Federation will not save the situation.
Now gold and foreign exchange reserves are like a suitcase without a handle. They seem to be there, but they seem not to be. Half were arrested, and the second, international banks will refuse to buy in exchange for dollars, so as not to fall under the sanctions themselves. Maxim Mironov, professor of economics and finance at IE Business School, in an interview with Forbes.
The oil embargo was a severe blow to the Russian economy. Production chains were destroyed. Most countries refused to trade with the Federation. Now some of Ukraine's key allies, including the US, are considering a complete ban on most exports to Russia to increase economic pressure on the Kremlin.
This will hit the Russian economy quite seriously. What does the tightening of imports in Russia mean? This means that there will be fewer imported goods, respectively, less need for foreign currency, respectively. This means a strengthening of the ruble, respectively, a fall in budget revenues. We can cause many troubles for Russia.
A social catastrophe is brewing in Russia, economists say. The valleys of the Russians are empty. They simply cannot purchase goods at high prices.
The sanctions are working. No matter how hard they try to persuade us that they don't, they work, and they work powerfully. The Russian market is toxic, Russia is poisonous, and the sooner European and foreign companies leave the Russian market, the better for them, and the worse for the Russian market. The Central Bank of Russia in the next half of the year should resort to covering the deficit of the Russian Federation by printing money. This starts the spiral, and this spiral will lead Russia to economic collapse and Putin's political regime to bankruptcy. Andriy Pyshny, head of the National Bank of Ukraine, in an interview with Voice of America.
Putin has recognized the impact of anti-Russian sanctions on the financial sector of the country. According to Vasyl Furman, a member of the National Bank of Ukraine Council, the situation will soon become critical.
President Putin recently said that in the medium term it will be difficult for us. That is, they are already preparing their society, which will be really difficult, and it is true.
At the same time, every month Russia spends more than $10 billion on the war against Ukraine. Since February 24, 2022, the total amount of such spending has already exceeded $130 billion. And this, according to Forbes, is more than a third of the budget of the entire Russian Federation in 2021. Reported by Roman Smoler, Natalia Belokudrya, UATV News.